rules were made to be broken, especially the boring ones, okay? Rules were made to be broken. Morrissey has a lyric somewhere deep in his archives: "We threw all life's instructions away," okay? And I've always found that line to be particularly resonant. We threw all life's instructions away, okay? There's a lot of rules that supposedly govern our lives, all right? And again, as in a different video I made on a similar topic, I want to clarify here that I'm not talking about breaking the law. I'm not talking about doing anything unlawful. I am, however, talking about those societal conventions that sort of govern how we behave, how we act. A lot of that stuff is nonsense and it doesn't serve us, okay? And in a dating context, we need to throw a lot of that stuff out the window if we want to be magnetic, if we want to be compelling, if we want to be remembered, if we want to be the kind of man that women desire and want to keep seeing, all right? So what are some examples of this? Well, I mean, there's obvious things like, you know, don't text her for 3 days. Well, fuck that. You know, if you like her, text her immediately, right? You've met her, maybe in real life, maybe it was in a cafe, in a bar, whatever, on an app even. You want to see her, right? What is the masculine thing to do? The masculine thing to do is to maintain that momentum, right? Particularly if you met in real life. A certain momentum is generated when you guys have met in real life. So ride on the back of that momentum. So text her, okay? You should be the one who is making the decisions and leading the relationship forward. So never, never, never politely ask her where she would like to go or what she would like to do on the date. You decide, okay? You're the man, you're the one who should be leading this thing, all right? Don't put up with bad behavior, okay? If you're on the date and, you know, she starts treating people badly around you, maybe she starts treating you badly, but even worse, maybe she's treating the staff badly or she's acting in a manner that you deem to be unacceptable, you say, listen, I think we're done here, pick up the check, pay, and get out of there, okay? You don't put up with disrespect, you don't put up with bad behavior, you break the rules of what is, you know, normally socially acceptable behavior, okay? If you guys are, you know, getting on really well and you think, hey, I want to do something kind of cool with this girl, suggest a trip, right? Why not? You know, maybe you've only been seeing her for a week and then you think, actually, this girl's really cool. Why didn't you just say to her, listen, I know this really cool hotel in Paris. We could go for a weekend. Why not join me, okay? Suggest things that are out of the ordinary, surprise her. Do things that she doesn't expect. Break the normal rules, okay? Alternatively, if you're busy and she's asking to meet up, don't feel that you have to drop everything in order to meet her just to fit into her schedule, okay? She is not your Google Calendar, right? She is not your, you know, you don't have to obey her every whim, obey her every command, all right? You are the person who curates your own time, not her, all right? So remember that rules are made to be broken. Remember that, particularly in, you know, affairs of the heart, all right, in love and war, there are no rules. I mean, there are actually, there are rules governing war, but, you know, let's put that subtlety to one side. You have to be the one that makes the moves, and sometimes the moves that you make have to be ruthless, and sometimes the moves that you make have to go against the grain of what she might expect. Not only is that more attractive, but it's more pragmatic, okay? It's more in your interest, because if you go along with what you think you're supposed to do and, you know, what polite society would tell you to do, then, okay, yes, on some level she might appreciate that, but also you just become a very predictable, boring kind of a person, and that's not really very sexy, all right? That's not really very compelling, okay? You want to do things that she doesn't expect. You want to do acts that she doesn't see coming, okay? You want to be that guy that she can't quite figure out, that she can't quite pin down, okay? So just remember, you don't always have to follow the rules. In fact, really, you should be breaking the rules. And this doesn't have to be in a destructive way. If we look at Nietzsche and we look at will to power, it's not about breaking rules in a chaotic way. It's about writing your own rules, okay? So it's not so much that you tear up the rule book, it's that you create your own, all right? You create your own rule book. You think, what do I want in life? What do I want in this dating scenario? But what do I want in life more generally? And then, okay, what are the rules that are going to serve me in order to achieve that end? And then that's what you do. You follow your own rule book. You don't follow the rule book that has been laid out for you by other men, by other human beings, by other fallible human beings who probably just made it up anyway, or who weren't necessarily correct in the first place, okay? Don't follow the rules that were laid out by other people. Make up your own. Show that you're somebody who's prepared to step outside the bounds of what middle-class society thinks is correct, okay? It's more attractive, it's more magnetic, it's more compelling, and it's gonna serve you better, okay? And it's gonna make her remember you, because you're gonna stand out in a way that other men simply don't. Anyway, I hope you found this valuable, hope you found this interesting. If you did, or if you didn't, please comment below, let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the channels. If you're interested in coaching, reach out. You can email me, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.